Audio check, audio check. Good morning, my peoples, as Pedro would say. Give me just a moment here. Pedro's running a few minutes late. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Welcome to DYOR Live here on the DYOR Media Network. My name is Tom, otherwise known as Striking, here in the digital media world. So glad to be hosting another episode of this great award-winning show. It is May 5th, 2025. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, for you Americans, it's Cinco de Mayo. It's the day you celebrate. What? No, it has nothing to do with Mexico. It has to do with Texas and the Alamo. And you are out getting hammered this weekend for Cinco de Mayo, and it really doesn't mean anything other than, well, consuming a lot of booze, which I may have done in the past, but I'm in Florida right now. Every day is Cinco de Mayo down here. Anyway, welcome to our viewers, Alpha Wolf. Let's see if this got my, yeah, it looks like we both need some coffee. That's exactly right. Oh, speaking of, let me grab my coffee. Yes, sir. I have my coffee in my Chicago Cubs winning cup. It's the second cup of the day. It's decaf. Lots going on this weekend. Bitcoin market's opening lower, ladies and gentlemen, in case you haven't figured that out already. The Dow futures are down 250 points before the open here this morning. The S&P 500 is down, and they're looking for it to be down and end its 9-day winning streak. Not a lot of 9-day winning streaks in the stock market, but last week and a half was a great run for the markets. Brought Bitcoin up with it. And if you listen to Pedro and I talk all the time we talk about how the market, Bitcoin went from doing the opposite of the stock market. Stock market goes down, Bitcoin goes up. And now it doesn't do that anymore, which sucks. But it gives you a lot more opportunity for trading. Because there's so much more institutional money in it. Not going to go over that right now anyway. I thought let's chat up our friend here, AI Wolf. Thanks for joining us. Walter from Ottawa, Illinois, not from Ottawa, Ontario. As I say, the hardest working man in crypto. He's got a lot going on. We've not been covering the different projects that Alpha Wolf has been involved in lately. Because I've been all over the country. I've been out in Colorado. Hanging out with family members. I've been down here in Florida, first hanging out with family members, now house sitting, which has got a couple more days on it here. Let's see if I can fix this camera a little. Nope. And so Pedro and I have had a haphazard schedule. And we've been trying this morning show for a while now. It helps me out when I'm not in my studio and when I'm away from home. Simply because it doesn't take up the whole day. I can do a show in the morning. I can spend the rest of the day working, doing research. Rose Oakley in the house. Rose, good to hear from you. Haven't seen you, Rose, in a while. I'm in Florida, Rose. I believe you're in Florida also. I'm up north near just north of Jacksonville, almost Georgia. Spending some good time here. It's been the best weather. We've been here since, April 5th or something like that, April 4th. And it's only had one small period of rain, about 2 hours yesterday, or 2 days ago. I can't even remember. It's been gorgeous every day. It's been 74 to 80 degrees. My golf game still sucks, but that's what happens. I haven't played the best golf when I was about 18 or 19 years old. It's been downhill ever since. What else do you do, ladies and gentlemen, in which you are the best at it ever when you were 18 years old, and all you do is get worse at it as you get older, but you love to do it? That's called golf. Alpha Wolf must be working out in the yard again. Hope it rains because to get the day out. You guys have had some shitty weather up there. I've got a different setup today. Let me know if the audio is too loud. Or if you can even hear it. And yes, I'm eating an apple. I'm doing like Pedro eating on the air. Anyway, I won the Kentucky Derby. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. I won the Kentucky Derby. I picked Sovereign. Why is it? Because I'm a horse expert? No, it's not because I'm a horse expert. Because it had a good name. In Canada, this is a relevant conversation. In Canada, there's been an election, and it was very contested. It followed the American election. One party's candidate was terrible, and everyone hated him. He's the incumbent in office, and they dumped him. They're like, "You got to resign. You got to get out." And so they brought in a new guy and just dropped him in, and he won the election. They turned it around and said that the other guy was just like Trump. We don't want Trump. The other guy is nothing like Trump. The guy that won is a billionaire like Trump. Anyway, they turned it around, and they are tired of this 51st state stuff. If Trump hadn't kept mentioning the 51st state bullshit, the conservatives would have won in Canada. And so the new guy won, and he invited the king to come to assert sovereignty over Canada, and to show the United States that, hey, knock off this talk about annexing Canada or any BS like that. The king is coming, and the king is going to go to Ottawa and open up Parliament. So the king is coming to assert his sovereignty. So on the Kentucky Derby sheet, I look down, I see sovereignty. I'm like, boom, that's it. And that horse won. It won, ladies and gentlemen. Guess how much money I won on that? 0. But Mrs. Striking and I may have won best dress competition for the Derby party we're at. We're hoping to find that out today. That's the news of the day. Anyway, Alpha Wolf's 99-cent donation. Thank you very much, Alpha Wolf. I had set up something that would track that and show donations on the screen automatically, and it didn't work. Oh, I didn't have it on. Where is that? Let's see. Oh, it didn't have it. It didn't work. Alpha Wolf, if you could donate another 99 cents, I'd appreciate it. I think it may only work with Rumble. Anyway, thanks, Rose, for saying sounds good. Rose is in South Florida. The weather's been great. Sorry about your golf. Well, that's what happens. I gotta tell you though, Rose, there's a shimmer of hope. Because I play a couple of weeks a year and then I take a lot of time off. So every time I get back into it, it's like trading. You take some time off, you have to take some time to get back into it. And I have not been trading well lately because I have been on this extended vacation. Yes, you come in and test the systems out, and I'm not prepared. Pedro threw me. I throw Pedro for a loop, changing the schedule. He threw me for a loop by coming in late today. Phil says, I am being cheap. I just wanted to agree with you. Anyway, thank you. I appreciate it. It's, as I always say, every little donation shows the algorithm that something good is going on here. Separating you from your money. All right, did it do it? See, it must only work on Rumble. Sorry, but thanks for the $2. Remind me to send you $2. $1.98 plus credit card fees. Anyway, so I won the Kentucky Derby on a hunch that the coincidence of the king coming to Canada, I gotta tell you, it's gonna be a big deal. It's the 27th and 28th, and I know we Americans don't appreciate the monarchy from England that much. After all, we did kick them out of the country. But it's gonna be a big deal, and Mrs. Striking and I, who's in the government relations business in Canada, we're gonna be there for it, and it's gonna be fun, and I think the king may ride in an armored vehicle that I built. So I'll add another head of state to my list. Alpha Wolf says, don't forget the pre-sale and NFT drop for Sol Snake, launching very, very, very soon on the alpha. That's all the alpha he can give on that. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching this live or on the replay, Alpha Wolf, I think I enabled you to drop your URLs in the chat. I think. Anyway, put it somewhere. Put it in the comments. Put it somewhere. Go to Alpha Wolf's project. Check him out. Do your own research on it. But he's been a good friend of the channel for a long time, and it's been fighting the scammers out there. And said he's going to put his own projects together instead of relying on other people's scams. And we're going to follow his projects as well. And he gave us $2, so we got that. I do have some other things to have some things to talk about. Waiting for Pedro here. But let me change this music up first here. Let's get the yeahs going instead. Yeah, that should do that. All right, let's get the old. See if we can do this correctly. Anyway, thanks everyone watching on Rumble. See that there's a number of you over there watching us. Thanks for coming to us. If you came from Truth Social from our post over there, drop us a comment. We've been trying to branch out into other social media platforms, and it would really help if we knew that you came from there. Okay, where is... Oh, I had this one up too. Hold on, let's see what Alpha says. He's working at monies. Work the monies. I'm good. Buy $2 snake token when it launches. I'll buy more than that, my friend. I will ape into the snake. Oh yeah, I gotta get the X profile running here. Let's see. Let's get the. All right, now I haven't done this yet. A little slow here. I've got my small setup here, as they say. But it works well. I do the big, complicated virtual studios, and I enjoy it. But the payoff is only a little bit here. Welcome, everyone. Please like, share, follow, subscribe, comment. Just do it. Let's see if it gets everyone. Make sure you get the pre-sale. All right, I'll hit you up on the pre-sale there. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, Warren Buffett, the time has come to an end here for Warren Buffett. Warren is 94 years old, and he started his first company when he was 28. Bought the small insurance brokerage in Kansas or Oklahoma or Omaha, in Nebraska, called Berkshire Hathaway, and turned it into this Goliath that if you had bought in with him back in the day, you would also be a billionaire. Had you just bought 20 years ago, the Berkshire Hathaway stock, it's up 1,000%. It's so crazy. It's so crazy the amount of money he earns from buying and selling on fundamentals of a company. Do they have a good product? Do they invest capital money in their factory processes or in their company processes? And he interviews the key management and determines which key people are good or not. And in fact, his replacement CEO, Greg Abel, was someone that is the CEO of a company that Warren bought in the year 2000. And he was like, hey, this is an actual really good guy. Not only do they have a good company, but he's a good guy. I'm going to bring him on, keep him on the Berkshire Hathaway team. And the guy he's the CEO designate to replace Warren. Warren's going to remain on as chairman. I think probably just to make sure that the new guy takes the lead properly. But Steve has been running the company from an operations level for a while now, and has done some amazing deals. But invest in the fundamentals, keep the noise out, and you'll do quite well. And he has done just absolutely amazing. Rose, thanks for joining us. Appreciate you joining the early show today. Come back again and give us a shout out. I hope your Monday morning meeting is good for work. Alpha Wolf says, it sounds good. Why is everything frozen? But thank you, Alpha Wolf, for joining it. Reminds me tomorrow morning to mention your project again. But I'll find you behind the scenes to talk about your pre-sale. And I didn't see anything, Alpha Wolf, I didn't see anything in the X. If you went to the X stream to post it, I didn't see it. Post it as a tweet under it, and maybe in the comment section. If you post in the comment section, I can bring it up on the screen repeatedly during the show. Anyway, so old Warren's retiring. An amazing run, amazing run. Number of family members always kick themselves for saying we did not invest in Berkshire Hathaway. They say, how much can it keep going up? How much can it keep going up? One family member said, I'm not going to buy more of that. I'm going to buy Boeing. And then the Boeing planes fell out of the sky. Not a good decision. That's like selling Bitcoin to buy SafeMoon. Yeah. Anyway, Token 2049 has come to an end in Dubai. It was a big show. Pedro and I obviously were not there. But a lot of our contemporaries, other streamers, Crypto Banter, Crypto Lifer, can't remember my other guy that I was watching. This guy, Crypto Factor. He's back. They covered the event very well. It was a big, and as these shows go, is very optimistic. Everything's good coming out of these shows. Nothing bad happens. Watch out for the FOMO after this week. Everyone's getting back to their offices, and with very positive news. Projects are going to pump. Hopefully the altcoin market will turn around. A lot of altcoin news came out of this market. But, as I caution you, Bitcoin dominance is high. Bitcoin dominance, if you recall, isn't just like how awesome Bitcoin is. It's generally its percentage share of the overall crypto market. And as it gets a stronger share, that means altcoins, the money's going into Bitcoin and not into altcoins. And once you see that start to fumble, 1 second. Once you see that start to change, that means there's going to be an altcoin cycle or just money flow into it. And as we all know, in the first quarter of this year, altcoins got absolutely wiped out. And thankfully, I was not in very many altcoins. A little bit in Solana in a project, a little bit in Matic in a project. But those were long-term things anyway. And the other ones just got absolutely wrecked. And a bunch of them have come back in the past couple of weeks. But not the huge pump everyone's looking for. Not the huge pump everyone's looking for. But we got to follow that Bitcoin dominance. And Pedro finishes up his the meeting that he's had earlier, then he can join us. Anyway, once again, welcome to everyone watching us on YouTube, our traditional outlet, YouTube. Thanks for joining us. Really appreciate it. Drop a comment, a like, follow, something. If you're watching this on the replay, drop a comment, and we'll get back to you on all these things. Answer your questions. Once again, this is the morning, the DYOR morning market bell show, the update, whatever you want to call it. The overnight markets coming in from Asia, not looking so good. Not looking so good. Bitcoin got dragged down. You can see here on this chart when Asia opened last night. This is the 15-minute Bitcoin chart. Monday in Asia is obviously Sunday night here, so Sunday at 6. I don't know what time this chart is. It's New York time. The markets just started to dump. Not a lot, but it showed that the Asia was waking up, saying no. The Japanese stock market opened lower, and thus Bitcoin got dragged down with it because of the institutional buyers doing that. And so we're probably gonna see a little bit more down today. Pedro would obviously come in with the levels and all that where he sees it's coming back to. I won't be able to tell you that. I can kind of figure it out as I'm getting better at this, but I'm not going to guess, or I'm not going to give you a somewhat uneducated guess. Just know that today's Monday. I don't know if there's any news coming out today, or any numbers that you got to watch out for today that drive the market. But if you're in a long-term trade, it doesn't really matter what the news of the day is. But one of the news of the days I thought you guys would be interested in is this one. From our friends at Bitcoin.com. BlackRock's Bitcoin fund now commands 607,000, let's round it to 608,000 Bitcoin, worth $58 billion. How about that? That includes crypto ETFs finished depository spot Bitcoin products drawing 674 million, and Ethereum just 20 million. But here, then this chart, Bitcoin 58,892,000. That was as of a day and a half ago. That's unbelievable. I mean, it's unbelievable. They ratcheted up their wallet. Their wallet just pumped so much. Check DYOR pinned post comments. We will do that. It's Market Maker Monday. Wait till the 8:30 bell. 8:30 for your time, 9:30 for my time. It's otherwise known as False Move Monday. It's False Move Monday. What you see on the open out of New York will be volatility. If you're someone that likes to play risky strategies, one thing to do is put in a long order with a low stop below it. One thing to do is put in a short order with a low stop above it. And bet which way the market's just going to spring at the launch. It's more of a gamble, not a trade or not anything serious. But it's always fun to do to see which one of your trades will play out on the open. Sometimes they both do, sometimes neither of them do. Depends which way the market goes, which direction. Anyway, so BlackRock is cranking in the Bitcoin. Let's see. That's the Ethereum fund. They're buying Ethereum. Even some people are starting to buy Ethereum again. But I don't really think it's that big of a deal for Ethereum. There's a lot needs to happen in Ethereum before the price really matches the rise of Bitcoin. For one, Vitalik and that whole crew, they need to stop selling. They just need to stop selling Ethereum. It's holding the price down, just like Ripple selling XRP all the time is holding it down. Alpha says, I think everyone made their moves over the weekend. I just got a gut feeling. I see green candles and over 100,000 this week. I'm not sure. I agree with you on that, but I'm just reading the news, and the Wall Street and stuff like that is predicting some down days. If we have a boom day that can make up the down days, it is very possible in BTC, but because it's been tracking the NASDAQ so well, not sure that's going to happen. But I am going to write this down. Alter. And at the end of the week, we will see who's right. Up or down. But, I got to admit, though, Pedro always says if we're going to go down at the beginning of the week, we're going to go up at the end of the week. Vincent, welcome, Vincent, coming up to us all the way from the Delta in Nigeria. Keep it up, boss, he says. Keep it up, boss. We're working on that laptop for you, Vincent. I've just been out of it for a couple of days here as I've been working remotely. But we are close to meeting the goal of being able to get you a laptop. We're trying to help Vincent out. Vincent is a moderator in the DYOR room on Telegram, and he is trying to get a job in Web3 itself. For that, he needs a laptop. Laptops are expensive in his little part of the world. And it is expensive for his family, so we're trying to raise a little crypto for it. If you want to donate some USDT to the cause, let me know. We can get a good kid that's been around for 4 years in this space, working off his phone, to get him a laptop. We're about 2/3 of the way to the goal. At least crypto. The least crypto I can do is an educated gamble. Well, educated gambling works on the Grap stable and on the. Actually, it works on blackjack. Not so much on craps. Anyway, so I thought you guys would be interested in the dominance that BlackRock is now showing. I think they've got now more than Binance. Anyway, other Bitcoin. I found this story to be really, really interesting. Bhutan, the country of Bhutan, has been a player like El Salvador has been a player. Bhutan has had up to 10,000 Bitcoin at one time, and they sold some, in which the Bhutan government just came out and said, yeah, we're selling it because we needed some money to do a couple things, some infrastructure, buy more Bitcoin miners. The country of Bhutan has massive hydroelectric power. They have got all these mountains, glacier runoffs, they got rivers, they got all kinds of stuff, and so they get a lot of free power. Well, it's not free, you have to build the generating systems and maintain them. But they're not paying the VIG for it. They're getting it at its source. So they get a big discount on the cost of mining. So they've been mining like crazy for years. And they've built up a nice reserve fund of 10,000 BTC, which is amazing because you're not going to be able to build up that reserve fund mining BTC or that amount of BTC anymore because that only 400 and some BTC are generated every day now. And it's divided up amongst a lot of players now. really working for it. But that just shows that still the number of countries that are seriously into this are there. They're there. Sorry, I just got distracted by a message, which I need to check on here. Where is my buddy Pedro? Thank you, Alpha. I got your message. Appreciate it. Anyway, so we got a lot of countries. Bhutan. I know it's the center of the universe for the economic world, Bhutan. But anyway, it's a government that's officially into it. North Korea, whether you like it or not, has a massive hoard of Bitcoin, and I think I might be in this article. Bhutan continues to outpace El Salvador in terms of its BTC holdings. Currently, the United States leads with 198,000 BTC, trailed by the United Kingdom, 61,000. North Korea holds third with the Lazarus Group. I don't know how they would know how much they have, managing 8,000, slightly ahead of Bhutan, 7,000. So those are the countries that officially announced what they own. I'm guessing the UAE, Saudi Arabia, and a couple other countries, especially Russia, hold a whole bunch, but it's not listed anywhere in how much they own. Anyway, I thought that was very interesting as the adoption grows for this. And frankly, also, there's an article that I don't have up about the EU. For you Europeans, your central bank is fighting the European Commission. Let's see. What is Mike Bennett? Welcome, new viewer, Mike Bennett. Let's see what you have to say. Hi, Mike. Thanks for joining us. I support independent news sources like here, so it's important to do so. Thank you very much. Not just news here. Normally we're doing crypto technical analysis of Bitcoin, but my partner and co-host Pedro Garcia is running late today, and he might not even be running here at all today. And we talk about the market open, what's going to happen today. We've already been calling the opening market lower today because the Dow futures are down, the S&P 500 is down. And it's likely that the stock markets are going to open down as well. We'll know that in about 20 minutes. And then the Chicago Mercantile Exchange Bitcoin futures are going to open. They'll likely be down as well. I really disagree with the way the Chicago Mercantile Exchange does business. I spent time in the futures and commodities markets long ago, long ago, and then they have open and closes. They had open and closes, like physically you can't trade from this time to another because people traded on a trading room floor, and they had to go home. Yeah, they had to go home. And the market's open and closed, and frankly there wasn't enough volume to have it trade 24 hours a day, or they need to. You didn't need to trade pork bellies 24 hours a day. They traded them for like 4 hours, and that was plenty. Got all the orders taken care of, that type of stuff. And they try to get around all the Biden administration regulations. They started trading Bitcoin futures, exactly like anything else on the Chicago Mercantile Exchange. You can't transfer money into crypto into the CME. You can only send them cash from your own bank account or industrial or commercial bank account. You can't take physical possession of the Bitcoins into your own wallet. You can take delivery of them, but there's a really complicated process for that. And they have certain times of the day, week that they don't trade, which is just dumb. Bitcoin is a 24-hour a day thing. They're trying to trade it as the old way of doing things. In the end, it's not going to work out. They've got a lot of money there because that's where a lot of institutions and banks and all this type of stuff do their trading and hedging. So it's easy to use it. But soon that's going to switch over to a 24-hour a day market. The money, either the Mercantile Exchange will adapt, or the money will move probably to the new Binance platform or new Coinbase platform that comes out to address the 24-hour day trading of Bitcoin futures. Vincent says, do you trade futures, Bitcoin futures all the time? No, not all the time. And to be honest, I traded them for a while, and I kind of broke even. I made a lot of very good trades. My winning trade percentage was high, but I made a lot of errors, a lot of rookie mistakes, because I'm not a day trader. I was in the manufacturing business for 30 years, 27 to be exact. And getting back into it with Pedro on the show teaching me, things have changed dramatically since I worked in the markets in the late 1980s and early 1990s. And there's a lot more information to take in. There's a lot more analysis. There's a lot more people competing. And it's much more difficult. You have to be really on your game. And I am currently not someone that sits in front of my computer all day and watches the markets. I haven't reworked my life into that. I'm working on it, but not yet. So I'm using my BitFi demo account. Yeah, that's right, ladies and gentlemen. If you want to trade, no, that was not set up. This is a organic pitch here. BitFi is our crypto exchange sponsor here. Right below me, there's a QR code. If you want to learn futures trading, you have to learn about leverage. You have to learn about volatility. You have to learn about technical analysis, all this type of stuff. There's a lot to learn, and there's a lot of money to lose. Bitcoin or trading futures is something in which you can lose all your money very quickly. Just like going to Las Vegas or somewhere that's gambling. You can say, all right, I'm going to try and win all the money here. You end up losing your money. What you can always do in futures trading is you can control only one thing. You can only control how much money you lose. It's like I see you go to Vegas and say, I want to play craps. If you only bring $100 and say, this is it, you can walk away only losing $100. That's the only thing you can control. Hedge funds spend billions of dollars trying to control every little input and figure everything out to get that slightest edge. We can't do that. We can't do that. All we can do is try to win the game by practicing trading and making little gains many times over and over and over again. And you do that by learning on a demo account. You can do that with BitFi. Click the QR code, sign up. They'll give you 100 free USDT if you sign up and trade with them. That's the pitch I have today for that. What was the other news article I had here? Let me just go back to Bitcoin for a second. Oh yeah, where's that article? This article. Thought you'd enjoy this one. Sam Altman, he's back. He never really left anyway. His company World has launched its biometric ID system in the United States after years of regulatory hedging. He kept his product out of the U.S. and he was famously paying kids in all over the world to be a test bed for them. Promise of free crypto in exchange for your biometric data is now live in the U.S. courtesy of World, the eyeball scanning project founded by OpenAI CEO Sam Altman. It announced Wednesday that it's officially rolling out its orbs in 6 major cities: Atlanta, Austin, Los Angeles, Miami, Nashville, San Francisco. Well, it turns out its orbs around the U.S. It toured around the U.S. earlier. It stopped short of offering full services. The U.S. debut for World, formerly known as WorldCoin, comes far later than other jurisdictions across Europe, South America, Africa, and Asia. Blah, blah, blah. Under Trump, it seems that's changed. The United States stands at the forefront of artificial intelligence. Now it's time for the world's AI hub to embrace the essential counterpart, proof of human. Proof of human. It's an interesting way to say it. Anyway, let me find that article. I'm not going to be able to pull it up. This computer's not logged into Substack. Anyway, my good friend Anton Golub, now living in Dubai, famously left Switzerland's crypto valley for Dubai because of the regulatory climate. Was changing in Switzerland, or not changing fast enough to be even more crypto friendly than the rest of the world. Dubai was advancing very quickly. with with the government supporting digital assets, setting up fair playing fields, rules, regulatory systems for everybody. And so this was before Trump won the election. So everybody started moving from out of Europe into Dubai. And today, Anton had a story about how the EU central bank, is fighting with the EU Central Commission. Sorry, I get the EU government confused in its structure with the people, the group, the parliament in the EU that sets the rules. If you recall, we talked a lot about what's called MiCA, M-I-C-A, Markets in Crypto Act. Markets in Crypto Act? Cryptocurrency Act? Something like that. It's very close to that. Anyway, it put all these rules for crypto in. You got to have a white paper, you got to have this, you got to do this, you got to do that. One of the things it said that for stable coins, they wanted to unseat the US dollar-dominated cryptos, stable coins, in Europe. And they did it by putting regulations on them instead of opening the market. And so they made it anti-tether. They said you have to hold 60% of your reserves in banks in Europe. And the banks in Europe are well known to be very weak right now. A number of them failed. It's not to say that, don't jump down my throat and say, oh yeah, well in the US some banks failed. Yeah, in the US we have 9,000 banks. In Europe they do not. Canada they have 6. But anyway, I digress. The Central Bank of Europe said, hey, this Markets and Crypto Act is pushing everyone out. What you guys wanted to accomplish is backfiring. It's causing companies to just say, you know what, we're just not going to deal with Europe as far as stable coins. They can go at it on their own. And so people are still using US denominated stable coins. Circle even opened up a special one just for Europe through a French company. Big news, yay, we're legal, all this type of stuff. Even Circle's ignoring their own stable coin, pushing just regular USDC. And so Europe's in a full panic mode. Not Europe, but the financial system is saying, hey, soon, the European currency, the euro, which is in Europe, is stronger than the US dollar for most things, not for everything. But soon the euro will be deprecated even more with the rise of stable coins based on the US dollar. That, combined with the announcement from the United States government, from their Congress, is pushing the Stable and the Genius Act, and obviously with Mr. Trump, President Trump, pushing stable coins, the whole crypto market. The U.S. is welcoming. The U.S. is welcoming, saying, "Hey, we want $2 trillion more to come into crypto and stable coins in a short period of time," which means USDC, USDT. Perhaps Ripple, perhaps PayPal's version. And Europe did things where they say, actually, if you're going to operate in Europe as a stablecoin, you can only mint 200 million a day, 200 million euros worth a day, which everyone's like, well, that's ridiculous, because there's many days in which the market just pumps, and somebody like Tether's got to add $1 billion to their market cap in a day, or in an hour. They got money flows in, and people buy USDT. It's got to go somewhere. And so the U.S. government's plan to help keep the U.S. dollar dominant is to back stable coins and allow them to be backed even more than they are now with U.S. treasuries. Tether comes in and says, oh, people just sent us $20 billion. We need to do something with it. U.S. treasuries are paying 5%. Well, let's just put them in there and earn $1 billion. Well, 5%, we'll just call it. We'll just say earn $1 billion for doing nothing but just letting you hold our money. So in essence, what we saw this, Pedro and I reported on this during the Biden administration. We reported on that China, Japan, a couple other places were selling U.S. treasuries as they got close during the Biden administration. The Biden administration was telling everyone everything is great. Lovely, the market's great. People talk about this extensively in the Twitter sphere, saying, oh yeah, well, the stock market was up under Biden, under Trump it's down. But behind the scenes, everyone's unloading their U.S. treasuries, and that's the real sign of the strength of the U.S. government. If your friends and allies are unloading your debt and your obligations, that's usually a problem. And they were. And who was buying that? Tether. Tether and other groups like Tether were buying treasuries on the secondary market or direct from the Fed. So essentially, while the U.S. government under President Biden was saying, this is terrible, it's terrible, crypto is awful, Elizabeth Warren, terrorist, what really was going on was that crypto was funding the federal government by buying its debt offerings. And Mr. Trump saying, hey, let's do that again. If we can sell these things easily, make the market more liquid for them, we don't have to pay as high yield rates. If we can get more customers in wanting to buy these things, we don't have to raise the interest rates so much to get people to do it. Obviously, when the interest rates on yields on bonds are at 1%, not a lot of people want to buy them. When they're at 5 to 7%, more people want to buy them. So you have to either raise the rates or get more customers, or increase the demand. You either increase the supply or increase the demand by making it easier to buy them from the secondary markets, convert your crypto cash into supporting the U.S. government and supporting the debt of the U.S. government. So it's a good plan, and the European Bank is just like, you guys are just going to smoke us because we can't work that fast. And B, what the European Commission does is all they try to do is limit what people do and regulate what people do instead of acting on behalf of the people and trying to boost up their economy. Big difference in the way legislators see the markets. And so Europe, you guys need to get with it here if you want to keep it going. Anyway, once again, ladies and gentlemen, thanks to everyone that's watching us. I've been waiting for my co-host, crypto chart analyst Pedro Garcia, to come to the show here. It looks like he's not going to be making it today. And so he had another business thing going on here this morning. So if you got something you want to talk about, bring it up. I'm going to stay in there just a little bit longer, watching the market move here for the open. Let's see. All right, I'm just going to do what Pedro does and what I've been practicing. I'm going to step down through the time frames. We're going to go back to the week chart, and what I've been learning from Pedro, I participate in crypto lifers groups and learn from him too, and his people, including Master Friend. All good stuff. And I highly encourage people to go watch Crypto Lifer's show and to join his Discord. The money that you pay, I don't make anything from it. The money you pay him on a monthly basis is worth it. The information you get is priceless over there for learning about how the day-to-day markets work. Anyway, here's the weekly Bitcoin chart. Here you can see this blue line here is the, hey, how about I actually put it on? You guys should let me know that I screwed that up. Anyway, so weekly chart. As you can see, we're well above this blue line. Here's the 200 period moving average representing 200 weeks of Bitcoin. We're well above it. It's a good thing. And when the market came back from 107,000, this is a weekly chart coming all the way down here. Even I was saying, hey, this market looks really strong. Down here, the stochastics was low and getting ready to, as they say, getting ready to pump. And over the past 3 weeks, we've seen that. Happen. We've had 1, 2, 3. This week is starting out red just from the decline in Asia overnight. But as you can see, we've had these 4 candles here represent 4 weeks in a row of green, which is good. And I wouldn't be surprised if AI Alpha was correct, and we got another green candle for the week. 100,000, I hope so. I hope so. Vincent says, when the bull run start? You know what, Vincent? We're waiting for that at any moment here. Any moment we're waiting for. We need some good fundamental news to get started here. But if you look at the charts here, the charts are saying that we're going to be going up over the next period, next couple of weeks and months. Let's go to the daily chart here. Daily chart is also showing what I talked about the past couple of days with the stock market. Stock market had gains the past 9 days in a row, and you can see from these candles right here. I need a better mouse here. You can see from these candles right here. That's the past week, and the stock market is predicting from the stock market predictors on the various channels are predicting down today, and perhaps the next couple of few days down. As if Pedro were here, Pedro would say if you want it to go up, it's got to go down first. So Pedro would say, yeah, it needs to go this, probably right to this level, probably to 87,000. Just from looking at the daily candle here, come down to 87,000, and then do this, or consolidate a little bit, do a couple up and downs, and do that. But in my mind, it does look like it would naturally want to come back down to $87,000 at some point here, unless some massive buying starts and then the price action just moves into an up only category. But this level right here, I'm going to draw the line. I'm going to do a Pedro. I'm going to draw the line. Essentially, this level of $87,000. It looks like the next, if any little bit of news comes out that says we going down, it's going to go down to 87,000. That's my idea. Could be completely wrong, likely completely wrong, but hey, I'm learning. With Pedro and crew. Let's hit the 8-hour chart here. Where the hell's the 8-hour chart? Oops. Eight-hour chart's essentially telling the same thing. Got my light in the way of the stochastic. Stochastics are down. Here, 8-hour. Actually, the 8-hour chart's looking good for a reversal. Volume is currently down right now, so we'll see what happens on the open coming up in a half hour. All right, let's hit the 4-hour here. 4 hours. You've been here 4 hours. That's a famous comedian talking about an all-you-can-eat buffet. Let's see. 4 hours also looking good for a reversal. Stochastics are low, starting to come up. The moving averages are all tight in here. I am not skilled enough to interpret those. Need Pedro here for that. But we are currently below. Let's see. The red is the 21 period moving average. The green is that they're both showing lower, but the stochastics are still down. Which usually means they go up. Let's look at the 1 hour. Now the 1 hour is doing the opposite. If you remember, you got to go up in the time frames. The 1 minute feeds the 5 minute. The 5 minute feeds, the 10 minute. 10 minute feeds the 30 minute. 30 minute feeds the hour. Yada yada, all the way up to the weekly chart. And the lower time frames are showing. Let's say 1 hour. Let's switch to 30 minutes. Yeah. The market's very confusing this morning. There's no clear pattern. When there's no clear pattern, at least in my mind, there's no clear pattern. nothing's going on here. In the 15 minutes here, we're below the 200 period moving average. Want to see that. I don't have my heat map up, so I don't know where all the liquidity is in the market. This is good practice, even though I'm not that good at it. If you guys have any comments, just let me know. Let's look at the 5-minute chart. This chart has an indicator on it from TradingView that I don't particularly follow. It seems to only work in one direction, that of shorting. Let's see, the 5-minute chart is saying, hey, we're overbought. Above the 21-day, kind of bouncing off the 50 period. For me, this is indecisive. There's just too much going on, and that's indicative of the false move Monday. But in the 1-minute chart is just hanging out as well. Let's go back and just leave it on the 15-minute chart. And actually, let's put it on the 7-minute chart. 7-minute chart looking also like it's time to sell. And as I say that, it ticks upward. All right, well, that's all I got for the Bitcoin. We're going to watch it as we get closer. The open's not for 30 minutes. I'm not going to be able to sit with you for 30 minutes and talk about this. But I did talk about all the news I wanted to today. Thanks to everyone that joined us on this show today. I had a good time. It's always good for me to practice doing this by myself. And thankfully I was prepared for that today. And obviously wish Pedro was here to tell us about the week. He'll be with us tomorrow. We'll be with you here tomorrow. And the same bat channel. Same bat time, 7:30 in the morning. Possibly 8, depending on if we got a late start like today. But pay attention to the markets today. Will be a crazy open, probably going to be down, then up, then down. But they'll fake you out when the market starts to move in the morning. The first move is likely not the way the market's going to go. Sometimes it is if they put in 2 false moves, but usually there's at least one, so watch out for that in your morning trading. And I hope everyone has a great day, and Pedro and I will see you tomorrow, so be there.